What is up, YouTube? It's Patrick Game 75. Here to play Sakura Succubus 5, Part 5. Alright, let's get started. Impressed by her mistress, peerless skill, Stefania thanks Hifumi anew for her instruction and permits her to take a break. I would not wish to push you too hard. It is quite a lovely day for January. It isn't overly cold and the sun is shining. You should seek to enjoy yourself while you can. Only a selfish woman would want to part a happy couple such as you. That's what Stefania says, and who am I to disagree with her? I've not gotten a good look at the palace or its gardens yet, given the sun had already set when I arrived here yesterday. I think it'd be interesting to see the palace during the morning, and I've a few words I like to exchange with Hifumi. Oh, she's round to my side, huh? This being the case, Hifumi and I soon find ourselves strolling arm in arm through the palace's expansive gardens. Hifumi's head is resting upon my shoulder, and her arms is looped through my own. There's a bit of a breeze. It's quite gentle. Said breeze stirs the leaves of the nearby trees, and it makes the decorations in Hifumi's hair cling together like wind chimes. The weak, wintry sunlight plays upon the contours of Hifumi's face and illuminates her irises, so they seem to glow, which is pretty good. She really does look beautiful. She's so beautiful. In fact, I almost forgot what I wanted to ask her. Almost, but not quite, though. Hey, Hifumi. Yes? Hifumi peers at me, her head tilted curiously to one side. What is it, dear? Is something the matter? I guess you could say that I was just wondering, you didn't tell the princess we were engaged, did you? Oh, that. Hifumi giggles amused, her purple eyes winking. I did not say it. No, not in so many words. I had no desire, you understand, to further fan the flame of discord after my announcement on national television. So is this something Stefania assumed? It would appear so, yes. She did ask me about the nature of our relationship before you entered the parlor, which put me in quite a tricky situation. I was unsure what exactly to say in response to her innocent queries. I did not wish to cause her undue shock by informing her of your harem. Were she to discover you were seeing multiple women, I fear she might be quite perturbing. As a princess, she is very sheltered, and she knows precious but little of the outside world. She still doesn't want us to know that we cheat on others. Wish to be considerate. I stress only that you and I had been in a loving relationship for almost a year, and we were very close. I told her that you were my beloved, that I could not countenance life without you, and well... Hifumi smiles bashfully. She must have surmised from the praises that you are my fiancé. I did not care to correct her on the matter, not when she sounded so very pleased for us, so I chose instead to humor her in her misunderstanding. I only hope I have not caused any offense. No, it's fine. I never be offended by the thought of marrying you, Hifumi. I consider it an honor, in fact, if we were engaged. Truly? Of course. I smiled and turned to press a quick fleeting kiss against Hifumi's cheek. I used to be self-conscious about the public displays of affection, but since spending so much time with my harem of succubi, I've become more open to the idea. I've been kissed and embraced in public so often, engaging in such acts myself shouldn't hurt, not from time to time. Besides, it's not like there's nobody else in the garden to see my closeness with Hifumi. We're quite alone. I wouldn't discount the idea of one day being your fiancé, but that would cause all sorts of complications. I can't marry on the sly behind the others' backs. It wouldn't be fair on them. I need to announce my intention beforehand. I know they'd be jealous though. If possible, I'd like to marry all of you. Here I sigh. But polygamous marriages aren't legal in Japan. Our relationship would be recognized, which would kind of defeat the point. A traditional wedding service would be nice, I agree, yet it is not a necessity. We can always marry in spirit. Symbols can have just as much meaning, if not more, than the inflexible, old-fashioned letter of the law. Japan is not the only country in the world. However, where marriages can be officiated, such weddings may not be legal where we live, but in other, more open-minded countries. Hifumi pressed her body close to mine. A pensive smile plays about her pretty face. Well, it is something to consider in any case. Perhaps we shall cross that bridge when we get to it. Yeah, I suppose we will. For starters, I still need to properly tell my mother about all my relationships. You mean to say you have yet to do so, despite my proclamation? I gave it an honest shot, but she didn't believe me. She seemed to find the idea of me being so popular hilarious. She laughed right in my face, or in my ear rather. She stopped laughing, pretty sharpish, though, after I broke into my apartment and had some stern words with her. So I have spoken to your mother already? Hifumi pouts. I was not aware of that. Now I'm beginning to feel quite left out. I had hoped that I might meet your mother at first. I flattered myself I would make a much better daughter-in-law than Ayu. As cute as Ayu is, her culinary skills pale in comparison to mine, and she cannot even beat a futon. She does not have the temperament of a wife, not at all. I have to agree with you there. She's too much of a diva to settle down. That's the impression I get, at least. But maybe she'll surprise me. There's more to Ayu than meets the eye. She can be pretty affectionate when she wants to be. Indeed, she can be, but so too can I. Hifumi smiles and gives my arm an affectionate squeeze. She is squeezing it pretty hard, as you guys can see. You are my beloved fiancé. I would be prepared to sacrifice anything for you. You need to only ask. In my heart, at least, you will always be my number one concern. I sure am. Well then, later that evening, once the sun has already set, I found myself seated in the luxurious dining room of Astoria's palace. I've not yet been in the dining room given last night. I was so weary I went straight to bed without eating. Then earlier in the day, I took lunch with both Hifumi and Stefania in the parlor with the pale blue decor. The dining room, as I soon discovered, is very bit as extravagant as the rest of the palace. Its walls, like those of the parlor and my bedroom, are blue. The floor hard cream marble. A large table sits in the center of the room, upon which a large vase of purple flowers I can't name stands. Every inch of the room has been cleaned to perfection. The marble floor is so well swept, it practically seems to shimmer. I'm in awe of this room, as it seems is hazel. While my succubus companion who's sitting across from me at the table, looks around, her eyes agog. This is the first time I've seen Hazel since my arrival in Astoria. I'm glad of her company. Her familiar face makes the newness of my surroundings feel less imposing. I'm glad I'm not the only one who's stunned by all the splendor. This place is like incredible. It's even grander than I thought it'd be. It feels almost too good for a guy like me. I'm afraid all this finery wasted on my uncultured self. I mean, jeez. Hazel picks up one of the forks for the inspection, her eyes wide like goose eggs. Are these like solid gold? Don't be silly. Maria, who's sitting beside Hazel, rolls her eyes. That would not be all practical. Solid gold is heavy and can easily tarnish. It is more likely that culturally it's plated instead in gold leaf. Gold leaf, is it? I guess that makes sense. Sorry for being a dope. I'm just like not used to all this finery, you know. I'm so not a shari girl, even if you are. I feel way more at home in the gym or in the pool than I do in posh places like this. I'm starting to get the shivers. Oh dear. Stefania, who is, of course, sitting at the end of the table, frowns. You aren't cold, are you, Miss Williams? I know it can be quite chilly during this time of the year. Your clothes are well. Stefania glances at Hazel's exposed stomach and muscles which ripple beneath it and flushes. They do not seem the warmest. Would you like Lizzie to fetch you a blanket? That might help evaluate your chills. What? Oh no. Hazel smiles abashed and shakes one hand in Stefania's direction. That's alright, Steffi. Steffi? Is she that familiar with the princess already? It's Hazel. It's very Hazel. Hazel. God, I can't say anything. It's very Hazel, I guess, to give people silly nicknames, even princesses, but it seems a bit too informal. I wonder how Elizabeth will take that. She seems pretty serious. I glance over to Elizabeth. Stefania's an indefatigably maid who's standing at her mistress' side, but to my surprise, she doesn't react to Hazel's over-familiarity. Maybe she's less stuffy than she appears. I'm not actually cold. It was more of a figure of speech. If I'm shivering, that's because this place is so incredibly, odd. I see. That's a relief, I suppose. Stefania smiles hesitantly. I would hate for you to be uncomfortable as valued, treasured guest in my home. I want your stay to be a pleasant one. I'm sure it'll be pleasant enough. How can it not be when you're so attentive? This is a lot to wrap my head around. I'm not used to fine dining like Fumin and Marina are here. I'm sure I'll get the swing of things eventually. That's the spirit. I am certain with a bit of practice you'll be quite at home even in an elegant setting such as this. Do you really think so? Marina arches one neatly puckered eyebrow. I have a few doubts about myself. There is nothing about Hazel here I would call elegant. But no matter if she makes too much of a nuance out of herself, I will not hesitate to set her straight. Marina shoots a warming look in Hazel's direction, which makes her flush. Hey, well, what is that supposed to mean? It'll be as good as gold, you see. I'll hold you to that now. Marina bows her head before Stefania. Please forgive us, Your Highness, for talking at such length at your dinner table. Our entries will get cold. Shall we commence with our meal? Oh yes, please help yourselves, and do let me know if you want second stuff. Cook always makes too much food, and I can never finish it myself. I am most gratified to have guests over. There you see, Marina, Steffi's happy to have guests over, and me included. You're getting your panties in a bunch of about nothing. Please. Marina rolls her eyes. I am no little girl, and I do not wear panties. I only wear thongs, obviously. Stefania, who had a spoonful of soup halfway to her lips, sputters at this. Now she's not gonna like this. Hazel, however, seems quite concerned by Stefania's discomfort and trifling retorts. Ha! You like to think you're so mature, Marina, but I'm even more of an adult than you are. I don't wear underwear at all. Stefania, who barely attempted to take another mouthful of her soup, sputters again, this time spraying a fine film of soup across the table. Oh my lady, are you alright? Elizabeth bends by Stefania's side and pats her back. Would you like me to fetch a glass of water? Oh, no. Alright, some soup must have gone down the wrong way. That's all. This is nothing for you to fuss over, Lizzie. I would rather you tend our guests instead. Very well, if that's what you would prefer then. Elizabeth gives Stefania's back to sleep. Slowly rub the skins of the table once more. Always elegantly sipping at her soup while Hazel and Marina are engaged in a lively debate. I don't want any part to play in it. I'd rather eat my soup soundly like Ifumi. But alas, hey Haruki, what do you think? I look at Hazel with some trepidation and reply, my soup spoon still pinched between my fingers. About But mine and Marina's taste in underwear, or lack of, which of us do you think is the most appealing? Does it matter? Maybe who's rather too mature for such a conversation size. Hiroki is fond of a pair of us. We've no need to fight for his affections, knowing this. Clamoring for further attention is childish, and it is uncouth moreover to discuss one's underwear at the dinner table. Can you not see you're making the princess uncomfortable? Oh no, I'm quite alright. Carry on as you were. I wouldn't want to come between your conversation. Besides, it's rather interesting listening to your conversation. I have been cooped up in the palace for so long. I have no idea how other women communicate. Trust me, other women are not as half so brazen as Hazel. She is a law unto herself. So you say, but Hazel stabs a finger in Marina's direction. You're the one who started talking about underwear first, Marina. Now, Hiroki, what do you think? Which of us you think is the hottest? Well, talk about a loaded question. No matter what I say, I'm going to upset somebody. And look, her eyes. She got them cutie pop eyes. That green thing. I doubt Hazel will let me squirm out of this direction and query with a mealy-mouthed, I think you're both attractive. She seems awfully worked out for some reason, so I guess I might as well bite the bullet. I hailed them. Oh my goodness, well, this is actually one of the worst of things. Who is the hottest one? Like the usual, I have to say on this one. Yes, huh? You like Marina the most? Yes, is that a problem? Not at all. It was not to be forgotten conclusion. Why would you not like me? I'm supposed to be elegant and beautiful after all. You could learn a few lessons from me, Hazel. Hazel pulls her face. That's not fair. I know Marina's sexy and all, but come on. What about me? Hazel gives me a swift kick beneath the table. Oof, come on, man. Got to bend and double over. My right hand, which is still gripping the spoon, twitches and then, oh no! As if in slow motion, the spoon slips from my fingers. It arches the floor, hitting with a metallic clank, but not before. In the process, staining my thighs with soup. It's a good thing my soup was only lukewarm, or else that might have smarted. This is unpleasant, sticky sensation, however, is hardly welcome. My pants are going to get ruined. What a pain. I reach for my napkin, meaning to dab myself dry, but... Oh, she takes over. Sure, I've busted a load right there. Not to worry, Miss Orsa. I will be the more happy to aid you. Before I'm able to do so, Elizabeth appears by my side, dabbing the towel with my hand. Now, where did she pull that from? Elizabeth kneels at my feet, dutiful as well a maid, and begins to rub at my thigh with said towel. Her caress, low and unexpected, certainly feels good, although, is it just my imagination, or her gloved fingers straight up perilously close to my crotch? Didn't spill any soup there, though. I remember this in a strangled voice, but Elizabeth pays me no heed. She continues to dab at my pants and her amber eyes, all while upon my face. While she works, her chest sways in tandem with the repetitive motions of her arm. The ability places too much strain upon her white blouse, which was already struggling to contain the heft. Before my eyes, one of the buttons on Elizabeth's blouse comes undone, thus revealing the valley of her soft cleavage. I swallowed my bash at the feel the blush to turn my head away. I fear if I weren't making any conscious efforts not to stare, my vision would be suckling by Elizabeth's head-butted chest. She looks so incredibly attractive, I have to wonder whether she's not doing this on purpose. She tries to seduce me? Yeah. And so she is doing an embarrassingly good job. Alright everyone, that's the end of today's video. So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.